Well, thank you, Phil. If there was ever an event that drew contestants and crowds, it was the three-day Sanish Rodeo, held each July from 1947 to 1953. In its short 7-year existence, the Sanish Rodeo became second in the state in prize money paid and second to none in the number of contestants competing daily. The rodeo was initiated by a group of Sanish area residents who met in the local fire hall in April of 1947. Forming the Sanish Rodeo Association, which became member of the Rodeo Cowboys Association and the International Rodeo Association. The rodeo site was located southwest of the Old Sanish Bridge, or almost directly behind the west portion of the Four Bears Bridge, west of present-day Newtown. The association began building corrals, chutes, and a grandstand, with everything ready in time for the first rodeo, July 3rd through the 5th in 1947. Events performed on the grass-covered arena that first year, among others, included the saddle contest, bulldogging, calf roping, wild cow milking, the free-for-all horse race, and the Shetland pony race. The first year, $2,205 was offered in prizes, and by the early 50s, it totaled $3,600. Attendance doubled from 1949 to 1950, with an estimated 18,000 to 20,000 people. It must have been a great show to see, as the line of the cars waiting to get in stretched for over 2 miles. The colorful pageantry of the Old West came alive at the Sanish Rodeo when hundreds of Native American families from the reservation pitched tents in the shadow of Mount Crow Flies High and attended the event bedecked in their feather and bead-covered Native costumes. Native American dancers performed between rodeo events, and area bands marched in the parades and performed concerts before each rodeo. Promoters also brought in specialty acts, such as a world-famous 3-horse Roman rider who performed a fire jump and the world's only standing Roman jump on the back of Brahmin bulls. The rodeo was announced by Truman Wald of Watford City, and FedEx and Greeno and Orr were the stock contractors. Though the rodeo was a grand social event, construction of the Garrison Dam doomed the production. The last rodeo was held in 1953, with the 9th pier of the bridge having just been completed. Schnell Livestock acquired the grandstands and used them as the stands for their match of champions and rodeos for over 25 years until 1977, when the rodeo grounds were disassembled. As well, the corrals were acquired by a group in Twin Buttes. Now I would like to read a letter from the Keogh family. The family of Brooks Keogh is extremely gratified and pleased that the Sanish Rodeo has been chosen for the Special Achievement Honoree Award. We all have special memories of the Sanish Rodeo and what it meant to our parents, Brooks and Kathleen Keogh. We would like to donate to the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame the following items. The sign that welcomed the fans to the rodeo ground, and this can be seen right around, well, it's right behind me now. A series of Sanish Rodeo movies that were filmed over the course of the years, as well as 70 still photographs taken at the Sanish Rodeo. Thank you to the trustees for this wonderful recognition, and congratulations to all the honorees. It is my great honor to introduce the Sanish Rodeo, whose short but colorful history lives on in the memories of those who participated and attended. Accepting the award today is a wonderful lady, Kay Nelson from Grassy Butte. Kay's uncle, Wendell Van Dyke, was one of the original committeemen who brought us this rodeo.
Thank you, Shanda. On behalf of the Sanish Rodeo, the Board of Directors, the Keogh family, my uncle, Wendell Van Dyke, it's an honor for me to say thank you for this prestigious North Dakota Hall of Fame award. When Coco called me and asked if I remembered the Sanish Rodeo, I was elated to tell her that my grandparents, my family, and I looked forward to it on a year-round basis. Like Shanda said, it was awesome, bigger than life. It was a big festival in the finest sense of the word. It started with a parade, and I'm happy to introduce Betty Keogh, Brooks Keogh's sister. Brooks was president of the Sanish Rodeo for 7 years. Betty rode in this gigantic parade, and her 2 children, I would like to introduce them to Jane and Brooks, Jane Miller and Brooks Grantier. Thank you for being here today. The parade, the numbers of contestants, the exhibition riders, An exhibition rider came out as fast as they could be mounted. A lot of these people were Native Americans. I saw my husband, Alvin Nelson, there the first time in 1953. He won the bronc riding, second in the bull riding, and placed in the bareback riding. Dwayne Howard, Dean Armstrong, Joe Chase, Jim Tom, and Alvin Tesher all competed. Jim Tesher won 2 saddles there. Dean Armstrong won a saddle there. The prize money, the size of the grounds, it was huge, with tall cottonwood trees, large Native American campgrounds, the long arena. I think there are only 3 arenas left in the United States like this today, outdoor arenas, Pendleton, Salinas, and Cheyenne. The Bowery Dance, I can still remember the Tennessee Waltz. The Carnival, nationally known trick riders, Vera Strachan and Johnny Strachan were there every year. Johnny would roam and ride his 3 Palomino horses, jump through a hoop of fire, and then later he competed in the steer wrestling and calf roping. In the whip act, Vera would hold a straw in her mouth and Johnny would cut it off with his bullwhip. It was fabulous. I can still hear the crack of his whip. One year it was raining and the trick riders had to wear swimming suits. Kathleen Keogh Spicer and I talked about this ahead of time, and she said one of the really interesting things that was a big deal in those days was Margie Greeno rode a saddle bronc, and she said, I can still remember it. Her horse was white, it was named Snowball, and she wore a beautiful purple satin shirt. In fact, it was Margie's riding that compelled Kathleen to convert the Leo Harris 60,000 feet of millimeter film from every year of the Sanish Rodeo into a video. And she wanted to do that in Margie's later years so that Margie could see the exhibition saddle bronc riding that she did at Sanish. The area bands were there, the high school bands, the Watford City Cowboy Band. I remember marching in the arena in 1949 when I was a majorette in the 6th grade. The beautiful big covered grandstands. The grand entry was a historical pageant portraying traditions and past legends, the history of the area with chuck wagons and riders. It was a combination of Native Americans, common everyday working people working together. I remember going to Sanish before the rodeo with my grandfather, Louis Signalness, when he had to go to Wanlo Olson's to get parts. And there'd be signs in the store windows. Down at the arena, everybody was down there working. Brooks Keogh was a real visionary. He had so many good ideas, and he was able to get everyone working together and get everybody involved. At the final rodeo in 1953, the last pier on the bridge had been finished and could be seen above the tall cottonwood trees from the rodeo grounds. The Sanish Rodeo should be remembered as a family event and a good time. Thank you to the many people who made the 7-year, short-lived Sanish Rodeo a success.